One of these songs was written in 10 minutes in the back of a van. One of them was born during a midnight blackout at a beach club. And the #1 song on this list turned a Dutch band into the sound of every highway on Earth. These are the top 10 one-hit wonders of the 1970s, and every single one of them earned it. Number 10. Black Betty, Ram Jam. A rock band walks into a studio with a folk song older than their grandparents, and walks out with something that sounds like pure American muscle. Bill Bartlett and Starstruck took a traditional American folk song with roots going back to the 1930s, including a recording by Leadbelly, one of the most important blues musicians in history, and stripped it down to something almost prehistoric. The recording was later re-released under the name Ram Jam, after producers in New York built the group around Bartlett. That guitar riff? Driving, relentless, with the energy of something that has been coiled up for too long and finally released. Turned an old folk melody into hard rock ammunition. Black Betty reached number 18 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went even higher in the UK and Australia, where it reached the top 10. Ram Jam never charted again, but Black Betty has appeared in numerous films and television shows since then. Every time a director needs a song that sounds like pure American muscle, they call Ram Jam. Number 9. Video Killed the Radio Star, The Buggles. Trevor Horn and Jeff Downes were two British musicians watching the world change in 1979. Synthesizers were replacing guitars. Music videos were about to replace radio. And they wrote a song about it before almost anyone else realized it was happening. Video Killed the Radio Star wasn't just a catchy single, it was a prophecy dressed up in synth-pop. Co-written with Bruce Woolley, the song looked back at the golden age of radio with nostalgia and forward at the plastic age with suspicion. It hit number 1 in 16 countries, including the UK, Australia, France, and Japan. In the United States, it only reached number 40 on the Billboard Hot 100. But then, on August 1st, 1981, at 12:01 a.m., MTV launched. And the very first video they played was this one. The Buggles never had another American hit. Trevor Horn became one of the most in-demand producers in music history. Jeff Downes joined Asia and Yes. But for 3 minutes in 1979, they captured the exact moment when an entire medium realized it was about to disappear. Number 8. Play That Funky Music, Wild Cherry. Rob Parisi was the frontman of a rock band from Mingo Junction, Ohio. Mostly white guys playing rock covers at bars and clubs. And one night in 1975, the crowd wanted funk, disco, anything but what Wild Cherry was playing. Someone in the audience shouted, "Play that funky music, white boy!" Rob Parisi went home and wrote a song about that exact moment, about a rock band that crosses over, that gives the people what they want, that finds something real on the other side of their comfort zone. Play That Funky Music hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1976. 3 weeks at the top. Wild Cherry never charted again. The band dissolved, and Rob Parisi developed severe health problems that kept him from touring. But that groove, that horn section, that guitar that sounds like it's grinning, It still fills a dance floor today as reliably as it did in 1976. A crowd got hostile with a rock band and accidentally created a funk classic. 3 down, 7 to go. Coming up, a midday melody that soundtracked the bicentennial summer. A riff so heavy it defined Southern hard rock. And an eternal summer anthem written in just 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Number 7, Afternoon Delight, Starland Vocal Band. Summer 1976, the bicentennial year. America is 200 years old and feeling cautiously optimistic for the first time in a long time. Bill Danoff, the same man who co-wrote Take Me Home Country Roads with John Denver, wrote this song about a midday rendezvous, dressed up in the most innocent-sounding language imaginable. In the blink of an eye, it hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, spent 2 weeks at the top, and won the Grammy for Best New Artist, beating out acts that would go on to build multi-decade careers. And then, Starland Vocal Band disappeared almost immediately. The song was so perfectly tied to that specific 1976 warmth and AM radio softness that when the moment passed, the band passed with it. The industry moved on. But on a warm summer afternoon, that melody still finds you like it never left. Number 6, Mississippi Queen, Mountain. Corky Lang was the drummer for a band playing a beach club in Nantucket. One night in 1969, the power went out. The amplifiers went dark, but the drums were acoustic, so Lang kept playing. Under the emergency lights, watching a woman dance in the dark, he started shouting lines to keep her moving. Mississippi Queen, if you know what I mean. Later, when guitarist Leslie West was looking for words to match a heavy riff he'd written, Lang pulled out those lines. West took them home and had the song finished in minutes. They recorded it for their debut album, Climbing, in 1970. That cowbell counting off like an alarm clock, and a raw guitar riff with the energy of something that had just been uncaged. Mississippi Queen reached number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went top 10 across Europe. Mountain never charted that high again, breaking up just 2 years later. A power outage, a woman dancing in the dark, and 2.5 minutes that became the sound of every garage band dreaming of being loud. Number 5, In the Summertime, Mungo Jerry. In the summertime, when the weather is high, you can stretch right up and touch. Ray Dorset was working a day job at a timber processing company in Surrey, England. He spent his lunch breaks writing songs in the back of his van. And one afternoon in 1970, he wrote this one in about 10 minutes. A simple shuffle about sunshine, about doing what you feel, played on instruments that looked like they'd been borrowed from a kitchen drawer and a garage sale on the same morning. When the sun goes down, you can make it good and live by. While other bands were layering orchestras and burying songs in production, Dorset tuned his guitar to an open chord, let the strings rattle, and recorded the whole thing live with almost no overdubs. In the Summertime hit number 1 in the UK for 7 consecutive weeks and reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, selling over 30 million copies worldwide. In America, Mungo Jerry never charted again. But that song never stopped moving. 10 minutes in the back of a van that created the unofficial anthem of every summer since 1970.
Sing along with us. Yeah, we're
Number 4. Fooled Around and Fell in Love, Elvin Bishop. Elvin Bishop had a problem that most guitarists would consider a very good problem to have. He was one of the finest blues players of his generation, but his voice was gravel, and he had written a love song that needed something smoother. So he handed the lead vocal to Mickey Thomas, a background singer in his band, who sang it like he was confessing something on a summer porch at midnight. Fooled Around and Fell in Love reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1976. Elvin Bishop never charted that high again, but Mickey Thomas did, later becoming the lead singer of Jefferson Starship. The song has appeared in dozens of films and soundtracks over the decades, from Boogie Nights to major Hollywood blockbusters. Every time a director needs to capture the exact moment when someone stops resisting and finally falls, this bluesy guitar line finds its way back onto the screen. Three songs left. A Scottish band who made Brian Wilson wish he'd written their song. A Glasgow group who looked back at their own lives and saw the whole world changing. And a Dutch band who turned a highway into a cathedral of sound. The best is still ahead. Number 3. Magic, Pilot.
it's magic.
David Patten was sitting at his piano in Edinburgh when his wife said something that stuck with him. "I've never been awake to see the daybreak." Pilot was a Scottish band formed by former session musicians. They recorded Magic at Abbey Road Studios with a young Alan Parsons producing. Who insisted the track needed a bigger orchestration and a driving rhythm. They were right. Magic climbed to number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the summer of 1975, going gold in the United States and reaching number 1 in Canada. Pilot never had another American hit, but years later, David Patten met Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, who looked at him and said, "You wrote Magic? I wish I'd written that song." Decades after it was first recorded, that irrepressible pop melody continues to be licensed, re-recorded, and discovered by new generations. Number 2. Reflections of My Life, The Marmalade.
Reflections of my life.
Junior Campbell and Dean Ford were two Scottish songwriters in a Glasgow band called Marmalade. In 1969, they recorded a song about looking backward and forward at the same time, about nostalgia, fear, and hope. Campbell recorded a groundbreaking guitar solo using backmasking, running the tape backwards so the notes seemed to fall upward. Reflections of My Life reached number 3 in the UK and number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1970, selling over 2 million copies worldwide.
Take me back to my own.
Vocalist Dean Ford left the band years later, moved to Los Angeles, and drove a limousine for a living, occasionally taking passengers like Bob Dylan without ever mentioning his former life. In 1998, the track earned a special citation for achieving over 1 million radio plays in the US alone, proving that true emotional honesty never fades. Number 1. Radar Love, Golden Earring. George Kooijmans and Barry Hay were in a Dutch rock band that had been playing together for nearly a decade when they wrote a song about a connection so powerful it felt like telepathy.
Radar love.
A man on the road, sensing that the woman waiting for him wants him home so badly he can feel it in his bones. Radar Love. They recorded it for their 1973 album, Moontan. That driving guitar riff, that steady build, and a drum fill that sounds like a car shifting gears on an empty highway at 2 in the morning. It reached number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went top 10 across Europe, becoming one of the most celebrated driving songs in rock history. Radar Love isn't just a song about driving, it is the sound of driving, the sound of distance collapsing, and knowing someone is waiting for you at the end of the road. One-hit wonders. The music industry treats this term like a consolation prize, as if having one huge hit were something to apologize for. But look at what these 10 songs achieved. One song, one moment, a chance to say something real. Most artists spend their entire careers waiting for that. These 10 made it happen. Tell us in the comments which of these songs left a mark on your life. Hit the like button, subscribe, and see you in the next video.